So, one of the other things I want to talk about just briefly, I don't have the trailer pulled up, but did you get a chance to see the Crisis, the final trailer for the Crisis?
I wasn't aware that there was a new Crisis trailer.
Yeah, there was a final one that they released. Um, I was trying to pull it up. I think that's what caused my whole screen to crash earlier. Um, but no, yeah, they released a final trailer, what they're calling a final trailer for Crisis. It seems like most of the teasers and everything they've been doing really for Crisis are sort of like almost like what they did with the Marvel movies. Like, they do the end. There's always the end credits scene, right? They've been kind of doing the same thing. Each one of the CW shows in the Arrowverse, whether you're talking about Arrow or Supergirl or Batwoman or whatever, there or Flash, they've been ending with like a little thing at the end. Not before it's actually before the credits, but it's a little wrap up sequence, and it's been kind of setting the stage. Kind of giving us Harbinger, kind of you know you know sort of like revealing her role. We've been watching Tom Cavanaugh's character, which eventually becomes Pariah. We've been seeing his character kind of going through machinations and whatever, and it's kind of all culminating and leading to obviously the big crisis. But they did release a final trailer. Um,
Is it?
well, let's see.
I got it up here.
Yeah, let it run and we'll see. It might be.
That's the CW.
Yep. Yeah, this is it. So the Monitor is kind of talking about the multiverse and how that all kind of works, and talks about the idea of alternate versions of heroes and whatever. And then we kind of see these different scenes. It's really short, um, but yeah, if you let it run. So this is obviously Oliver Queen. I think that's his daughter. Here's Batwoman, the Flash, kind of giving us our main heroes. There's a Legends of Tomorrow crew. We see one of the Earths being destroyed. Actually, that's Argo being destroyed. That's Supergirl's homeworld being destroyed.
She normally doesn't have bangs like this, does she?
They've changed her look quite a lot for this last season. She's got a totally new suit. That's the whole nano thing, so it kind of comes over her. This is something, this scene here that they just showed. We've seen that before, actually, in Flash. This is Harbinger. She's basically telling the various heroes, the Monitor wants you all to make your stand on this Earth. And we see here we've got Supergirl, Superman. We've got John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, there in the back. Unless that's Diggle. Sometimes I get them confused. And on the other side, we've got, which I think it might be Diggle because Arrow is sitting there. This is something we've seen before in Flash. That's Iris West, Allen, whatever. Yeah, it's real quick. But yeah, she gets disintegrated here in this clip because this is we've already seen this before in the Flash. This is just a reuse of this footage, and then we're watching these Earths kind of be destroyed. Of course, Lois is sitting there next to Superman.
I do like this look better.
Yeah,
because I kind of bailed on Supergirl early in the first season. I do like this outfit, and I like the bangs and everything. Honestly,
yeah.
And my understanding is they are working on a series for this version of Superman as well.
Yeah, they've got a pilot apparently in the works.
Yeah.
There's Harbinger, kind of laying out that they're going to have to make a stand, and then Oliver, which is Green Arrow, he actually says he's like, we need a bigger team.
Yeah.
And there's the
Monitor. Who is this?
That's the Monitor.
That is the Monitor right here.
Yeah. Pretty close to actually what the Monitor in the comics actually looked like. I was kind of surprised. Of course, we saw him in the Elseworlds. And then here we've got some of the team. We've got Batwoman sitting there. I think that's Kara's sister all the way in the back behind Brainiac. I think that's Brainiac from the Legion of Superheroes sitting there at the end, but he's in his human form. And then that's Green Arrow, and then Green Arrow's daughter from the future. So, and here we've got, they said we need a bigger team. And then we show the Flash joining Superman and Supergirl. And then we're finding out that Superman has a larger role to play in this than we all originally thought. Because he's kind of been a player, but he's never been a big player in the crossover events. And basically, we're finding out he has a major role that he's going to have to fulfill, which leads us into some of the cameos that they show us. There's a monitor again explaining that idea. And they're like, oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll see how this goes down. And then there, of course, is Clark meeting Clark from Smallville, which I'm pretty jazzed about that.
He looks a lot different now, doesn't he? He looks
Yeah.
He's filled out a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's more grizzled.
Yeah, and I think he actually looks a lot better than he did in Smallville.
Yeah. He much more of the Superman, I think, now. So
yeah,
I can totally see it.
I dig it. I mean, I thought he always was kind of I thought he was kind of wimpy looking in Smallville. So he doesn't look wimpy in this. He looks like a man, you know?
No, yeah. So, and then here's Bruce as Kevin Conroy. And I really get the feeling that this is the Kingdom Come version of Bruce Wayne. Because
this is it, huh?
Yeah, he's got that exoskeleton like in Kingdom Come that kind of helps him get around because he's abused his body, but he's never stopped fighting crime, and it's taken its toll.
And this is arguably the best Batman of all time, right? The animated.
Yeah,
Batman,
Kevin
right?
Conroy. Yeah,
that's cool. I have to say that's cool, and that does kind of help things, right? How old is? Do you know how old he is?
I think Kevin Conroy is he's in his 60s, late 50s, early 60s.
So that's kind of a good way to go with the exoskeleton and stuff like that. You can get away with a lot.
Totally fits.
From a narrative perspective, that makes a lot of sense.
And then there's Kate Kane recognizing him, and he recognizes her, and it's obvious in his Earth that she might have died quite some time ago because he has quite the reaction when he sees her. But they do appear to be like similar, like they, you know what I mean? It's like these two characters at least know each other. So in her, basically in the Batwoman CW universe, it's the same Bruce Wayne. But just he's a lot older and he's been through more. So that's kind of an interesting parallel. So
yeah, it is.
They have a bit of a reaction. We got some different little scenes here. Someone getting disintegrated, more people dying. We got I don't know what you want to call them. They're not the dynamic duo, but we have Supergirl and Superman. They're going to play a big role in this. They're both using their version of the heat vision. There's the Atom, which we know he's going to die probably in this because he's leaving Legends of Tomorrow and he's going to be Kingdom Come Superman. Which the big thing making the rounds, everybody's excited about Crisis, which they don't have in this trailer, is there's a scene of the Kingdom Come Superman with the other Superman by the throat pinned up against the wall, and he doesn't look too happy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we get a little bit more exposition. They're just kind of setting it up. And more of there's White Canary. That's what they call her. I didn't make that up. Anyhow,
that's White Canary right there?
Yeah, it's White Canary. I just think they should just call her Canary. It just seems so silly. Black Canary, White Canary. Yeah.
Are these Kryptonian ships? What are these?
I'm not sure what ships those are, to be honest. It doesn't look like the ship from Legends of Tomorrow. But then again, the whole universe is in dire threat. And one of the executive producers of this said they still have a big, huge shock of a surprise that no one has seen or heard anything about yet that they've been able to keep totally under wraps that's going to be coming up as the episodes roll out that fans are going to be shocked. So curious to see what they're going to do.
Got a lot of Supergirl and Superman in this.
Yeah, well, that's because Superman's going to play a big role in this. So,
all right.
There's Black Lightning. Of course, Black Lightning's going to be in this, which is cool. We see him meeting Flash. They're, of course, from different Earths, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll help you out."
The classic, cool. The classic hero handshake.
Yeah.
Join me.
I dig it. Yeah, I dig it.
You know what this always reminds me though of now?
What?
Unbreakable.
Oh yeah. To me, what it reminds me of is
so it always gives me a different meaning because I was really fooled by Unbreakable up to the last minute, and when they had that scene where they did the classic, hero class, that's the way I saw it. Like they were going to team up, and I was all happy, and then M. Night just completely destroyed my world and my brain disintegrated. I was like, no, you know what I mean? That's not cool. It was very cool, but I mean, I fell for it hook, line, and sinker, and I thought that's what was happening. It was one of these, team up moments, you know.
Yeah.
And so anytime I see this now, I always think of Unbreakable.
See, to me, whenever I see two heroes shaking hands, to me it always calls back to the Flash Gordon movie with Sam Jones, where Timothy Dalton is they're on that battling platform, and Flash saves the Baron's life, and he pulls him up, and the Baron is shocked by this trait that the people of Mongo don't have, and that he saved his life, and I'll never forget this. To me, it's one of my favorite scenes in cinema where he says, "Where you go, I follow," and they shake hands. And
there's a real sense of danger in that scene too that I really like. So I remember as a kid, it really freaked me out. I could imagine. Can you imagine fighting on something like that with spikes coming out of it and things like that?
And then we got a scene of Arrow here doing his stuff. And then the Monitor's like, "We got to go." And Arrow's like, "Did we get everybody off the planet?" And he's like, "There's no time." And he's like, "Then we can't go."
Earth 38.
Yeah. Earth 38 is apparently going to be
signature lost,
totally destroyed. There's Pariah.
Okay, let's there. This guy, that's Pariah.
Yeah. It's Tom Cavanaugh who played the Professor Zoom and the Reverse Flash in the early seasons of Flash. He's played a lot of different characters. They've really done a lot with the multiverse in the Flash show. But this current version of his character is basically Pariah from the comic books. And we've been kind of seeing him slowly kind of investigating stuff, and then eventually him, emerging as Pariah. So working with the Monitor there. And then we've got, looks like glasses. Superman, broken glasses. This is a cool scene right here. We got Flash.
There we go.
There's the Flash. That's my favorite Flash.
Yep.
It's a ship from the 90s series.
That's what I grew up on right there.
Yeah. The two of them.
I used to watch that every week when it came out.
So jazzed about this. It's going to be fun.
And I do know that he was he also played his father in the CW continuity.
And he also played the original Flash in an alternate universe. He's the classic Flash, the one with the helmet with the wings on it. I always think of the flower delivery, the florist delivery service, the Hermes.
But this is the '90s Flash. This is
him.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that gives me chills because I used to love that show as a kid, and this is him. Obviously his universe is one of the universes in this show. So that's cool. Good on Warner Brothers for that. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool.
Now this is not the first time he's appeared. He was in the Elseworlds crossover event.
As this one?
Okay,
I didn't know that.
It was very brief, but the Elseworlds event actually starts with him. It's Earth 90, right? Earth 90.
Earth 90, okay.
He's crawling across the ground, and he's trying, and they're in the midst of a battle, and he's been knocked down, and he's crawling across the ground, and he's trying to get this book. It's the Book of Destiny. And that's the first time that we see the Monitor. And the Monitor walks up and picks up the book, and he opens it up, and he's like, "You all did this to yourselves." And he's like, "Why are you doing this?" And then he runs away at super speed, and he basically travels between the parallel dimensions trying to recruit people. And then in that same scene, we see the Smallville version of Green Arrow. It looks like he's dead. We see what might be Dr. Fate's helmet. Like they've been leading up to this for a while. It's pretty cool. So
Green Arrow here's
dropping his bow. Something big's happening. He's reacting to it. And then Pariah's like, "Yeah, it's all gonna end." And then we get the logo that they keep pushing with all the different heroes represented in the letters. But yeah, the big thing that isn't in the trailer that everyone's really freaking out about is the shot of the Kingdom Come Superman, having the Supergirl version of Superman by the throat up against the wall, and he looks pretty upset. So
I would like to see that. That sounds pretty cool.
So
obviously I've been looking forward to that because we did a whole show on Superman Returns. So
and we've got this will be I think it's this weekend. I think the first episode of Crisis starts this weekend. So the crisis is upon us. So
what's the first episode?
I think Supergirl's the first one. I can't remember. Let me see if I can look it up without crashing my computer here. Let's see.
Supergirl is on Sundays, is that right? Or
yes, I think so. Yeah, it's December 8th is the first episode. Let's see here. It's always bad TV when you're sitting here trying to research something. Sorry, everybody. I need the schedule.
Yeah, December 8th, Supergirl will air part 1.
Yeah. Supergirl. And then
December 9th, Batman will air part 2. Batwoman,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
December 10th, The Flash will air part 3.
Yeah.
The final 2 installments of Crisis of... This is from IGN, by the way, that I'm reading from. The final 2 installments of Crisis of Infinite will be held until the new year, with both of them landing on the same night. So January 14th, Arrow will air part 4. And then January 14th, Legends of Tomorrow will air part 5.
Yeah.
So there'll be quite a gap there, almost a month, almost 30-day gap from December 10th to January 14th, where everybody's going to be hanging about what's happening.
Hey, if they do it right, it could be like Best of Both Worlds Part 1 and 2. I'm down. If you can give me a moment like that, like Best of Both Worlds Part 1, Part 2, I'm so down for that. It's not even funny. That'd be awesome. So
it's hard to emulate that, but
I know. Right? But hey, I could dream, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. You've been looking forward to this for a long time, and the trailer does kind of, even without me watching most of the shows, like I've seen a couple episodes of Supergirl, I've seen a couple episodes of Flash, I think I've seen 1 or 2 episodes of Green Arrow. The trailer does kind of get me a little bit excited. I'm curious to see how, because Burt Ward's going to be in it, right? So I'm curious what he looks like. We haven't seen anything of him yet, right?
Well, there's been a couple of photos of him, like set photos, but I'm waiting to actually see what they're going to do with him in the show. I mean, and his role may be really brief. I mean, his Earth might being destroyed, and he might look up and be like, holy destroyed Earth or something, and turn to dust for all we know. You know what I mean?
I hope it's not that. I hope it's a little bit more than that.
No, but they had the shot they had of him. It looked like he had a Ace the Bat Hound like on a leash, and it's like they were on the streets. So it'll be interesting to see I'm curious to see how they play it, because if they do it right, he should be Dick Grayson older, and he should be, well, obviously, but I mean beyond that, I mean he should be like in charge of the Wayne Foundation or something, and I mean. In the comics, especially in Kingdom Come, if they're looking at ideas from Kingdom Come to lift, one of the coolest things they did in Kingdom Come, I still think, was, and I had actually done this as an art project, but all the different versions of the Batmobiles were essentially like transforming robots, and they actually guarded Gotham City. And, Batman had a control center where he would, control them from, and then, of course, he had his suit that we saw later that he also wore. So if they do it right, they've got some fun images and some fun things they could do with him too. So, I mean, matter of fact, a big thing in Batman Incorporated, the series I worked on for DC, the big idea with that was that Bruce revealed that he didn't say, I am Batman, like Tony Stark said, I am Iron Man. But what he did say was that Wayne Enterprises had been basically, they were the force behind Batman's technology. And that they had determined in league with Batman that the best way to protect the planet was to have a Batman in every country on the entire globe. So they were going to take Batman's technology and export it out with different vigilante heroes, and Batman was going to work with them and train them. So there would be an army of Batman, kind of like the whole suit of armor all around the world idea. That's why they called it Batman Incorporated.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's like it's a Batman franchises. It's like Batman, right?
Yeah, and if they do it right, they could do the same thing. That could be the role that Burt Ward has. He could be in charge of Wayne Enterprises, and he could be the figurehead behind basically an army of Batman all over the world. we'll have to wait and see. But there's a lot of potential, so we'll see what they do with it.
Right on.